Tonight on the Gadget Shelf, let's talk about the Asus ROG Phone 3. This one right here, from the perspective of from the perspective of an architect, which doesn't really have that much time for gaming anymore. Hmm, it's I'm pretty sure my wife will disagree with that statement. Um, so yeah, the RG Phone 3, the most coveted dedicated gaming smartphone out in the market right now. And there's a reason for that. Um, Asus and ROG have really been known to produce really good gaming peripherals, especially for this one. This phone has plenty of accessories that you can attach to it that would make the gaming experience all the more exciting and accurate for especially for FPS gamers because we know there's a lot of those. Um, this package comes with the Air Active Cooler. This one. This is basically, let's see, this is a fan right there, and it has an RGB lighting here that translates this light outside because it will connect to the RG Phone 3 through this dual USB-C thing here. And when you do that, what happens is, yeah, see, I've mounted it right here. And then what happens is this part here lights up, and this part here also. Republic of Gamers, it says there. So what happens when you connect this accessory is it's supposed to give you at least 4 degrees of cooling, 4 degrees less than what your current or normal unfanned temperature might be. I've actually tested this before, but I got around 2 degrees. But this is a much bigger fan, so this probably will generate more cooling from what I can imagine. There's a visible gap between the phone and the cooler, and that's where the air uh, comes out of. I don't think this existed on the earlier versions. I did test out, I think it was the ROG Phone 2. So, yeah, first off, let's get the box. So, the package comes in this box. It's a trapezoidal box, and how you open it is this is the clue. You're supposed to keep the eye upright, and then you pull out this area right here, which gives you the cooler, and then the phone will be over there. And then inside of the box, there's the case, and then even deeper, we have the 3.5 millimeter jack, USB-C to 3.5, and then we have some extra attachments for when you lose this. This part here is plugged into the device when you remove it from the box. It protects the USB-C area for the Caractive Cooler Tray, which is pretty hard to take apart, and for me is the most problematic part of the design actually. The earlier models didn't have that. All right, let's put this back and then go back to the phone. This phone in particular, is the 12 gig variant with 512s of storage. So even though if you were playing a lot of games that required so much download right now, uh, you won't really have a problem with this because you won't necessarily be taking photos and videos with this phone. Maybe gaming clips, you will keep that there. We have 5G dual SIM, 6.59-inch Full HD Plus display, a dongle, bumper, and a fan. Yeah, we have all that. We have Snapdragon 865 Plus, 3.1 gigahertz, 24 megapixels at the front. These are the cameras. 64, 13, and 5 at the back. So that's the main camera, 64. 13 megapixels wide and 5 megapixels macro. So let's yeah, we have the charger comes with a braided cable and a pretty sick branded USB-C cable. This is a 30-watt charger, and if you have the AirActive cooler on, you can charge it this way. And that helps you in gaming because your hands are free from the charging cable. Because when you try to game with the charging cable over here on the other side, it becomes problematic. It becomes really problematic really fast. So let's take it out again of the cradle, because what we want to do actually is show you what the benefits are of the ROG Phone 3. So one of the main features that I want to highlight here is the 144 Hertz response time, or is 144 Hertz refresh rate. Yeah, that's the proper term. The refresh rate is very visible when you're doing high, when there's a lot of activity in the screen, and we can simulate that with Instagram right here. So the camera we're using right now is recording at 60 fps, and this is going to be moving at a rate over 2 times faster than that. So we're going to be scrolling through, and you'll see, well, do that. You can see that there is significant speed, and also when you're looking at it with your eyes, not with the camera, everything looks, there's no ghosting or anything. Everything is still sharp as long as your eyes can follow them. So this is a major advantage when you're gaming, especially. Now, I'm pretty sure people that will be watching right now are going to ask about Genshin Impact. It's the game that's everyone's playing. Everyone that's not playing Among Us, which is uh, a less graphic intensive game. But Genshin Impact is a gacha game, and as far as gacha game goes, that would be my fourth one if I did play that. So instead, we will be looking at Fate Grand Order, which is one of the gacha games I'm playing. So I have Brave Exvius and War of the Visions along with this one. And let me just connect this so we can have a better experience with the phone. So you can see it with me. Uh, let me put this up, pull this up. Time. All right, there we have it. I tried this earlier with the air active cooler on and it didn't work. So let's do it like this. Okay, so we have on screen right now and along with me the ROG Phone 3. And we're gonna go to Fate and then play that. So as you can see above, we have the Game Genie live thing right there. And you can always swipe from the left and pull it up. The Game Genie shows you statistics of the game and the phone, or basically of the game. Uh, these this particular game is locked to 30 FPS, but let me tell you, it only runs this good on this phone. I have uh, a daily driver that's not Asus, and it doesn't run Fate as good as this does. So we're gonna play through a basically an episode. I've been a little bit lazy with this game, and this is, as you can see here, it's Lost Belt 2. This is, if you're playing this right now, you should be finished with Lost Belt 2 like 2 months ago, I think, already. So I'm missing the current event because I can play that unless I finish Lost Belt 2. Alright, so that's enough about the game, and let's play. Okay, let's remove this Game Genie real-time info first because we need to read that. And let's just go through this menu for a second here. So we have brightness, we can control it over here. We have no alerts, no calls. We can toggle both of those on so that when you're playing, you can be sure that you won't be bothered. You can uh, prevent the navigation from working. That means even if you accidentally pull it up like that, it won't work for you. Okay, when turned on, gesture operations were disabled, yada yada yada. And then you can go to the Game Genie to customize it. As you can see, it no longer comes up when you're hitting it from the side. See, No more. No more navigation. And then we have bypass charging, data only. That's for when you're playing, you don't want to move into the 4G or 5G environment. But soon, you'll probably want to uh, use the 5G network because it's much faster than your fiber. So we have here speed up and air triggers. You can configure them here. So you can see that you can put them wherever you want. And then when you push that, it triggers the button. So let's assign left to the first character and right to the second character. Okay. And then close that. All right. So let's try that. Working. Why? Did I not turn it on? Okay. Now it's on. There we go. It wasn't turned on earlier. So it works much better if there are on-screen controls where you can put it on, especially in like oh. See, I've been mishitting with those on, so I'll just turn it off for now. But this works especially good in FPS games. So you can just aim with your fingers and then hit with your ultrasonic buttons. In this game, we don't need that. All right, so let's start the quest. Wait a minute. Who did I get? Forget. Anyway, we're gonna just defeat these few monsters here. We should be leveled well enough to just take care of them, even if we're not completely aligned with their type. Okay, so let's buff up a little bit. And then battle. Let's use the Phantasm early on. See, this Noble Phantasm, especially, there's a lot of effects that goes on. And if your phone wasn't rocking a very fast refresh rate, it just lags on you, even if this is limited to 30 FPS. It simply lags. It's weird. But with the RG Phone 3, there's no problem. Just that's why I like this game with this phone especially. Now it's just all about Among Us and Genshin Impact. But really I can't afford to play another gacha game. Especially since Genshin requires a lot more involvement in terms of playing it. As you need to keep hitting buttons. These games are a little bit more automated. You just assign what your characters will do, and then they do it. Turn based as opposed to RTS, like RTS or open world games like Genshin. By the way, PSA, Genshin Impact might drain your money, real world money, if you keep up to date with all of the characters, especially when there's no safety net of the sort, because some games have that. So you might want to control yourself when you're playing that game. So this is the last monster here, and we're just gonna hit it with our Hokusai, which is a foreigner and is especially effective against berserkers, of which this particular enemy is one. Okay, of course, since it has over 100,000 in HP, it doesn't just fall out like that. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna just demolish this monster. This and that. The audio in this is really pretty nice. Let me just turn off my suppression for a little bit so you can hear it properly. So uh, there we go. Suppression off. You can hear that there's a little bit of rain that has been going on. So this is stereo, and right now it's aligned to the microphone, so it's hearing both left and right at once. Let me just put it closer. And maybe just destroy this enemy. 本そじりしたそうか。本私に教えて無学36系体大きい波色スパニ So there's a lot of subtlety that you can find in the stereo of this phone. Let me turn this back on, because that might be, it's not that clear when you can hear everything. Okay, so this phone has been pretty helpful in advancing my gameplay here, because I have not yet gone into Lost Belt 2 when this phone came in. I was going to make it a point to get through Lost Belt 2 using the ROG Phone 3, which I will definitely be able to do that, but time is not yet very permitting. Okay, I don't have navigation on, so let's turn that back on and get out of this game. So you can see that right now we're on X mode, right? This is X mode, and there's a regular mode, which basically releases the phone to do all the other tasks. Heating is something of an issue that many people find. Some people are reporting like over 40 degrees, and that's constant when they're playing. I haven't reached that yet because I think since Fate is locked to 30, it's not really pushing the pixels too much. Uh, what else can we talk about here? Mm, yeah, so there is the primary benefit of taking this phone out and gaming with it is that you won't get into problems of lagging or anything like that. And you have all the advantages of additional buttons with the air triggers, and then the fast response rate of the screen, which is also very important in fast paced games where you need to decide really quickly and you need your inputs to be as accurate as possible. That includes games like Mobile Legends or Wild Rift, uh, Genshin Impact. Yeah, we can probably include that for the boss fights. You need very very accurate input, but more importantly, a stable connection, which 5G also allows. And we did test this. Um, Let me see if I can find it over here. There's, yeah, okay. Let's go to the speed test. Here, you can see that some of these are hitting over 145. This was a supposed 5G zone, but we only saw 4G plus plus when we were traversing the road and were trying this out. Eventually, when we got near to our place, the signal died down into these pathetic numbers. But yeah, if you're gaming with this much download speed, then should really be not experiencing any problems over latency or lag whatsoever. So that's a really important aspect of using this phone to game. Apart from that, it's a pretty standard phone. It's very thin actually, and the camera is not all that bulgy. You still can like rest it on a table on its back and expect it to be completely flat. But that's why we have cases for it. And so with that, I would say the RG Phone 3 is a very good phone for gaming. If you game with it, if you game with it, shall we say responsibly, you should not be hitting the 40-degree mark at all. Of course, that also works if you were using it at an office like environment that has air conditioning or some such. And so let's just go through Armory Crate, which is the basically the control panel of the. Wait, let's just shoo it away so we can see the animation here. All right, there we go. So here in the Armory Crate, we have the console, which basically shows us everything that we can control, uh, especially with the ROG Phone 3. Well, right now that the Kunai is not connected or we don't have the desktop dock, which is also one of those special features of a full-fledged gaming phone like this, because it allows for almost latency less uh, playing over the air onto a bigger screen, an HDMI enabled screen. So apart from the heaviness of this, because this is around 240 grams, is that correct? I think that's correct. 240, 240. Yep, 240 grams. If you carry about four of these, you'll be carrying a small Ultrabook. Apart from the heft, I would say this is still a very solid phone and especially good for gaming individuals, gamers, mobile gamers, and even streamers, because streamers will really benefit from the integrated casting and the speed at which this thing operates on. Not only the screen refresh rate, but the network speed. And so, would I recommend people to buy it? How much is it right now? We don't really have the price here, but let's see. Um, Archie phone 3. So this cost this cost 50,000 pesos. This particular version with the much better version having more RAM and not necessarily more storage, just the RAM really. Yeah, so this is I would say this is the better value, because when you're gaming, what are you gonna do with the other RAM anyway, right? So yeah, 50,000 pesos for this phone, a dedicated gaming phone. I would say if you were a competitive player, then definitely go for this one. It's big enough and it's the screen's flat, so there won't be any accidental touches here or there. There's just enough room to have your fingers hit all the proper spaces that you want. So yeah, the only real gripe I have about this is it comes with this thing, this connector attached. And when you try to take it off the first time, it's pretty hard. Yeah, incredibly hard. So, yeah, I guess that would be my review of the Asus ROG Phone 3, the the unparalleled gaming smartphone of its generation. Yep, this is it. 5 pesos shy of 50,000 pesos. If you're a competitive gamer, there's no reason why you won't want one because it's really, really nice. Content consumption, and of course, winning games. And so, with that, I will leave you guys and see you in the next feature. We'll see. We'll probably go with the microphone next time. Take care.